You ever seen anything online and then thought, I want to get my hands on that? And then had a little look around and found nothing. Yeah, me too. So I do what I usually do. I have a cigarette, watch a movie with a friend, and forget all about it. But what if this time I didn't do that? I did the complete opposite and did something. Okay, so how'd I even start something like this? I guess we could just look at the source material that I have and work our way from there. So this is Alex Terrible with his cover of Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. And the main body shape of the trike looks like a BMX with stanced wheels or negative chambering. The first thing I decided to do was just to go online, find myself a cheap BMX. Now this is not the one I ended up buying, but they all look the fucking same, it doesn't really matter. And since I don't know what I'm doing, I just got an angle grinder, put in a cutting disc and just started cutting off pieces. Now that we have ruined the BMX, it's time to ruin the car so we can sample some wheels. Alright, now that I've crashed the car so I can take the wheels, I realized I don't like the rims on this one. So I went and punctured a tire on my other car. Now we're using those instead. But now I have an issue. How do I attach this wheel to my bike? Well, I mean, we already crashed the car, so we might as well just take some part from that shit and just weld it together. Alright, now that we have cut off some car parts, I'm quickly realizing that this is not gonna fit my needs. So yeah, we're just gonna weld it back onto the car and say fuck it. So I just went online and ordered some stuff that would actually fit my wheels and that would be a lot better for me to use. Now this is all nice, but we're not gonna get the negative chambering that we need. So I'm just gonna have a little piece of steel that's bent. Now I just weld on a rod and that's it, wheels done. Now, while editing this, I'm realizing it's called camber and not chamber. That's my bad. Next up, I'll need to bend the pipe so I can get these two parts together somehow. Finding the middle for this and having it be straight was a little bit more challenging than it might seem, but I think I did an okay job, so I just welded it on. Don't look too close on my welds. Later on the welder broke down and I had to read the manual to find out what was wrong with it, and in the process of doing that I realized I've been welding with wrong settings the entire way through. So yeah, don't look at it. I was gonna weld it all together now, but I realized I was still missing a few key components that I needed to figure out, like having pedals. So instead I just opted out for eating food with my friends. The next day, when I went back to the garage, I was given a tip that I should look into how unicycles work with pedals. So yeah, we're just gonna steal that idea. The drill bit I used to smooth out some of my welds also decided to attack me at the beginning of the day. So yeah, we're off to a good start. In short, the way a unicycle works is that the pedals are just directly attached to the wheel, and there are some ball bearings that's keeping your seat from spinning as well. I forgot to take a picture of it, but I got my hands on a unicycle to see how the mechanism worked. But I like the wheel on that one a little bit more than the original BMX wheel, so I just took it. The problem with this wheel is that it was a little bit too big for the brakes, so guess we're not having any brakes. Then I went ahead and machined some parts for my ball bearings to sit inside of, and aligned it for the weld. But I'm really good at changing my mind, so I decided to put them at the front instead. Thought it looked a little bit better. Now with the seat, I just found a chair that was sitting outside and welded on some stuff so I could attach it to the bike. Now with everything in place, I thought it was time to weld everything together, hoping that everything was straight. At this point it didn't look super nice, so I decided it was a good idea to paint it. Now I'm very lucky that I have access to a place where I can do all of this, both build and paint. Now I don't really know what I'm doing, but if you have access to these sort of things too, you can probably do a much better job than me. Now all that's left to do is put it together. I think the paint job came out fine. I've never done this before, so it's not perfect, but I'm satisfied. The paint I used was just some leftover car paint. After building it, I brought it to a local convention and let some strangers sit on it. Hopefully they won't sue me for having them in the video. Now since this thing has no brakes and has a pretty hefty weight to it, I would not recommend going super fast with it, as it might be a death trap. However, that's not what it's made for, so with me it's okay. This was all just to prove to myself that I can still commit to things. Even with my limited knowledge, I was able to make something that I was originally looking to buying online. Hopefully this might motivate you to do something as well. Thank you for watching.